Wendy Richter. I'm gonna fuck you up.
We want Mina.
Mamacita.
Thank you, Trish.
I am Medusa, always have been Medusa, and always will be Medusa.
That too, it was gonna come out anyway.
I prank bitches.
Call me Diva.
How we doing, everybody? Are we good? Are we rested? Holy flying fraggles, was that an incredible pay-per-view? Everyone's a little spicy afterwards. There was some dramatic things that happened at the end there, weren't they? But we are not here to talk about that, so you don't have to worry. We just still stay in chill, calm Diva land. Welcome to Don't Call Me Diva. I am Bex, and as you all know, we are here to talk about women's wrestling. AEW women's wrestling, to be specific. You can find more out about me and the current AEW's women's roster back in episode 1 of this show. It is pay-per-view week, so there will not be any of the usual look-back segments, but we will still be going through Dynamite and Collision, and we will stop in ROH, but it's very brief, and we'll get to why that is soon. Before we go digging into Dynasty and the two amazing matches from Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart and Timeless Toni Storm versus Megan Bayne. I honestly did forget that for 1 second. Can't trust the brain. That's why we write things down. Thank you to everyone who watches this madness and listens to this madness. It is very appreciated. Thank you so much for everything, like the follows and the scribs and the bloody-bloodies. But before I turn into a waffle cone, let's start talking about women's wrestling. Woo! In the newish news, Mariah May and our wonderful Harley Cameron have been in a little blog together. It's on Mariah May's YouTube channel. She has been doing it for actually a little while, but recently Harley Cameron has been joining her, and that is how I know about it. I got to send a little linky, and it's so much fun. It's really, really wholesome. So if you love like little, backstage, well, not really backstage, but like vloggy, fun, girly times, go watch it because it's really, really wholesome and it'll make you feel better. Mercedes Moné is current moment the TBS champion for the longest reign of any champion, with currently over 300 plus days and counting. So that's pretty good. She's like surpassed Jade. Less matches, but time length is which is weird because I thought Jade was like champion for a really, really like over like year kind of thing. But hey, obviously wrong. That's why we like news. Also, very, very big news that we found out about, which was super, super cute. It was on Chris Jericho's podcast, if you want to go listen to it. But Harley Cameron was on there, and she told Jericho that it was Mercedes Moné's idea for her to use her tranquilisms for the show. So look at that. Miss Mercedes Moné, a woman who's never put over anyone in her entire life. Saraya is now on her own, and she has a podcast. It's called Rule Breakers. Rule Breakers with Saraya. So, and on it, she announced that she is no longer with AEW. Everything's fine. No nefarious headline clickbait or anything. It was all good. I don't think they flubbed Saraya. If that is on the bingo card, then cross that off. Although I think a lot more other things have happened since then. So I don't think anyone's really been jumping on the they flubbed Saraya card train. So she, I think she found her spot in the storylines that she put herself in. I thought she's really great with the Outcasts. I thought that was cool. Obviously, transitioning like Harley from her QT TV stuff to like actually in ring, like, but with her in the ring was really, I mean, obviously really great because she shines and we now have Harley Cameron and thank you very much. It does suck that for one, we won't get Puppet Soraya because that would have been fun. But it also really sucks that Soraya and Harley didn't have like a see you later out the door kind of match. I wonder if there's I mean, I could just sit here and just start theorizing. None of this is like fact or checked or anything, but I do wonder if it was health related and that's why she didn't have a match, or maybe she just didn't want to. Yeah. Or maybe, yeah. Maybe. Who bloody knows? But I'm not I'm not like gonna miss Soraya. I'm not dissing Soraya when I say I'm not gonna miss Soraya. I just am not gonna miss Soraya. I did kind of, I mean, saying what I just said, I did kind of sour on her after she said something a little, well, what I kind of found a little bit gross on a August 2024 episode of Rampage. She was facing Nyla Rose. And Nyla Rose is trans, and Soraya's husband at the time, because then they're now divorcing or something. He is quite well known if you're in the kind of area to have a lot of opinions on like non-binary people, but also transgendered people. Basically, he's not like in the Venn diagram of ally. So and she's caught a little bit of flack for like, obviously marrying the guy and all that kind of stuff for that kind of thing. And like they've made all these statements and anything. I'm not here to like throw torches at anybody. I just wanted to verbally say what I actually saw with my own eyes. And is the reason why I'm like, okay, bye Soraya, it's all good. So during the match, this was in the picture in picture moment, right? Soraya is, has got Nyla Rose in a compromising position and she puts her on the middle rope. So like she's facing out to do, she goes on the outside of the ring on the apron and does like her knees and shit and like the face. It's really fucking cool. But she looks like dead into the camera because like she's always talking to the camera and stuff, which is great. I love that. Like she could shit talk brilliantly, which is why I thought her work as a manager was great. So she's looking like dead into the camera and shit, and she's like pointing, and she's like, "You want to see this, baby?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Baby? Who's baby? I'm not baby. Are you baby? Is the camera baby? Husband? Baby?" Okay. So yeah, I know I'm grabbing at straws, but it just really stood out, right? So she says the line straight, to the camera. "You want to see this, baby?" A fan is like going, "Whoa, Nyla, like, come on." She like then like turns her attention onto the fan. She points to them and is like, no, being a heel, it's totally fine. This is not part of like the whole like thing, okay? This is just what happened in the chain of events, okay? And then he's like cheering and she's like, "This one's for you," like pointing at the fan. And then does her really brutal rope hung knee strikes, which is, really, really cool. Like I said before, she puts like her whole body into it, her hair's going, and it looks really, really brutal. Like she always does it like at an extreme emotion and like puts everything into when she does that move anyway. So I'm not going to say it looked like particularly more brutal this time or anything, but my brain goes to, you can't plan for a fan to like shout out at the time or something. So in her mind, her frame of thoughts went, I have Nyla Rose. I'm going to go do this brutal move to her. We're in the picture in picture. I'm going to point to the camera, say something that's clearly to my husband involving, I'm about to hurt this woman, but transgendered woman, and then does that move. So that would have been the chain of events. And I know it's just me. I'm like sensitive to this kind of shit. I will put my hands up to it. It's my whole neurodivergent shit. I'm not here to like make a fucking, flaming torch pick fort. I'm not here to make a flaming torch pick fort of hate towards Soraya. It's just something that was on my mind, and I thought, since I've got this like platform and we're talking about Soraya leaving, and I have been very vocal about how annoying it is that Nyla Rose and blah 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 blah. I just wanted to bring it up. Okay. That was it. That was all. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I'm going to move on from there. But I just get really, really sensitive to when people of like a status make certain like statements out in the public eye when they're involved people that are marginalized and discriminated against, and it was all getting very, even more like ramped up at the end of last year over there, and I don't know. Anyway, I am actually going to move on now. So that was the news. That's all I've got, I think, from what I can remember. Yeah, if there's more, it will be in the next episode. So we are moving on to our brilliant episode of Dynamite, leading up to Dynasty. It is episode 14 of whatever season we are on in 2023. And not only that, but it's the mixed tag match to open the show. I can kind of like believe that they put this up first, because you need to give it like a lot of time, because this is going to be insane. And I have been noticing that certain little parts of like the beginning of Dynamite sometimes leak themselves into the end of Dynamite, especially when it involves Swerve Strickland and the Death Riders and Hangman. And with Willa, it's not so much, because she hasn't really like had much like on her own side storyline kind of like told in this way with the Death Row. She's normally like coming in to like help. But yeah, I've been noticing that. So we are starting off with this mixed tag of awesomeness. Willow and Swerve Strickland versus Marina Shafir and that dastardly man Moxley. It is also, of course, a Tornado Jones tag match. And for those of you who don't know, a tornado tag means that it's basically just a fucking free-for-all. You don't have to be in your corner. You don't have to be tagged in by your partner. You can just like go for anyone at any time. Double team, sweet. Male on female, sweet. It's like chairs, tables, like the whole fucking thing. Sweet. The only thing that is actually for the rules is you do need to pin or submit the dude in the ring. That's the only fucking thing you gotta do. So that's going to be very, 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 very exciting. And another thing that I'm very excited about is later on, our world champion, Timeless Tony Storm, is going to get all sweaty and physical with the amazing Penelope Ford. I will be gushing all over the performance of these 4 women. I'm just letting you know right now. You are prepared, okay? I freaking love women's wrestling. And this was some of like the most top tier stuff of like different like genres of different things happening. It's amazing. My girl Penelope Ford shined against the champion, she totally came out like really strong and resilient against her. Willow and Marina out of their match are like dangerous, full stop, like no bullshit, but they went absolute nuts during this match. Whew, both of them came out like fucking units. It was insane. Marina is excelling in her character. It's like, some might call it like a simple character, but it has all this like nuance from inside of her. Like you can tell that like when you look into her eyes, if you can for like a slight moment, because it's a little scary, you can see that she's like 100% like in there. And fuck me, for all I know, this might actually be Marina Shafir. You know, her being nice is probably just a facade. I'm not one to judge. But anyway, becoming Willow is fucking killing it. like, isn't she? Isn't she like really goddamn killing it? Like this last year, like 2024 was like a real good year for Willow. And I can only see it like getting better because 2025 is definitely the year of women's wrestling. It's and AEW especially is. And like event, like I can really see her quickly becoming like main event Willow. Like the hero of our locker room could, very easily by like the middle of the year, like maybe around Halloween or something, be like up on like that top level. Like no shit. Absolutely no shit. Both of them also actually, or four of them actually, have been given free reign to be the woman wrestler that they want to be. They like with their promos and everything, you feel that they have more interest in what they are saying. They've had more input in how their character is being developed. So it just comes across just a lot more joyful and and like if they want to be sexy, they can be sexy. And it's not an awkward sexy because this is I'm in control of my sexy. And it's just the whole thing is just full of like absolute free will equality. I couldn't be happier. Could not be happier. Like that's the kind of equality I want. I don't want this like fucking, I don't know, corporate equality. I want, absolute free will equality to be you, to do you. That's what I want. So getting into the actual show, we see the remarkable Renee Paquette finally get called out by Swerve. That's actually in the end of the show, actually. That's not at the beginning of the show. I fooked up, but that's okay. I fook up all the time, and you're still here, so thank you for that. We find out that on Collision, we will also have a fire tag match, but I will talk about that later because I've already gone way off track. Mercedes Moné, first off, gets a visit from the ever popular Muppet Monet and her handler, Harley Cameron. There was some intricate threads to storylines being played on this show. It was very brilliant. So we see all the way through like Harley and Monet coming back together. Muppet Monet is back. Mercedes is not as annoyed, slightly amused now, maybe getting maybe a little comfortable with Harley, perhaps. At first, I wondered if maybe this was a babyface kind of turn for our TBS champion, but Harley has been heel before. What if it's the other way around? What if Harley is going back to the dark side and Muppet Monet is the demon on her shoulder? Enough about that. Coming up to its 1 year anniversary of All In, we are just getting all the promos of excitement. Oh my goodness. And after this like pay-per-view, fuck knows what's going to be happening. What's going to be going on like this week's Dynamite is going to be all chaos, that's for sure. But woo! The fact that it is like only a 1 year coming up between All In and, obviously this All In, the storylines that are being built up from that All In to this one are like so deep. I can't believe it's like not even like at this moment being a year with like some of these storylines. It's ridiculous. They are so deep and intricate and have legs on them as well. Like you can flutter off away from like some of them and like people can go off and do their other things, but you still got that in like the background. Like you can see that with like two of the wrestlers that aren't going to be mentioned because they're male wrestlers, and I'm not going to get waffly on that one. But you guys know who I'm talking about. They're like just coming back in and there's this whole new level and it's so good. I am so lucky. I really, really am. I feel really lucky and privileged to be a wrestling fan right now who has been able to see all of this grow from like, word one, but like, from like everything. It's so fun to see. It really is. It's like you get like a little reward, and then like sometimes you get disappointed, and then sometimes like it doesn't pan out. Like I never got like what I wanted with the House of Black, but like I moved on and everything's fine. Everything's exciting. They've all got their reasons for everything, and I'm just gonna stay on the train and just keep watching. Just can be very excited about it. We once again watched this Dynamite at a friend's place. The ones that we watched the last Dynamite at, which was awesome. They were hooked and satisfied and highly entertained by the end of this show. one little sidebar. One of my friends, he loves Claudio Castagnoli, but not in the way that you might think. He saw him at our place once, and Claudio did the big swing, and it blew his fucking mind. He was laughing on the couch for, I shit you not, like 10 minutes, seeing this grown ass man fucking helicopter swing this like other grown ass man in the middle of the ring. And then the way he just lets him go and the person just like dies on the mat, that's his funny. That's the part that actually, amuses him the most. So when he got to see Claudio Castagnoli that evening for Dynamite, he calls Castagnoli helicopter man, by the way. He was very happy and also giggling his ass off I think about 7 minutes this time. But this was the first time that his lovely lady had also seen, and we did not tell her why he called him helicopter man. She just had to wait and find out, and she was very happy when she found out as well. I love that you can have like such a serious moment in wrestling of like, because Claudio is like beating the crap out of someone, and then you're just like dying of fucking laughter because he's just flinging this like grown ass man around. It was fucking brilliant. Okay, on to the mixed tag match. As I said, we opened with the mixed tag match. The Death Riders and Marina and Mox are both slowly coming out to the ring, full of concentration and rage. Both are wearing green combat pants and are ready for Jesus Christ. The hero of the locker room's music hits, and Willow comes out looking an amazing combination of joy and seriousness and kindness and murder, wearing her battle gear in pink and dark gray with, of course, those beautiful sparkles. Just because it's a tornado tag match does not mean we can't sparkle. Okay. Willow giggles while she joins in with Nana's dance because Swerve Strickland's music has just hit. Now, this is not the time for games, but we will allow a little bit of stress-relieving Nana dancing. And as Swerve's poised, battle-ready demeanor stands next to Willow, she instantly focuses and they're just synced. You can see it. They give each other the look, and like you can just tell their game plan is focused. So this is going to be a fun little run through because because we will only be following Willow and Marina through this match. They are, when they're interacting with each other, or if they're interacting with Mox or Swerve. So there will be some things I just don't see due to real world stuff, like, like the camera, like pans or anything like that. But you know me, I'm gonna weave a little story, and I'm gonna try and keep it as kayfabe as possible with some little embellishments and some connecting bridges. What I love to do. This is why you're here. As is expected, with how intense this rivalry is, as soon as Willow and Swerve start walking down to the ring, Marina and Mox are already going up the ring to greet them. This is what I love about the feuds in AEW when they get to like this point. Hardly any of them are like waiting for like the other to like get into the ring to pose or anything like that. Usually it's just like boom, like gunning right at you. It is an instant brawl between the two. Willow gets a satisfying knee to Marina's gut, and then she drags her along by her head to the pleasure of the sickos ringside. They're just like, "Whoa!" And she's like, "Ah!" I mean, she's just loving it too. I think she loves a little bit of torture. While the crowd is going wild with Swerve's house, Willow throws Marina into the side of the ring, making Marina double over with pain. Willow has managed to deactivate Shafir for at least now, and she celebrates with she celebrates the early domination with the fans. A little bit premature, but she's having fun, like I said. I mean, I understand the feeling of like being, yeah, I've like gotten some licks, we're all pumped, everyone's behind me, and all this kind of shit. But Marina ain't dead yet, Willow, and she's dangerous, so come on. I also want to say that, obviously, apart from our dear Moxley, everyone has amazing hair in this match. This is a very important point I want to bring across. Oh my goodness. Swerve's hair is amazing. Willow's hair, amazing. Marina's hair, amazing. Hair, music, animals, wrestling, black clothing, done. Me. I am proven right with my earlier assessment of a little bit too early with the celebrating, because after checking in on the fellas, we come back to see Willow is leaning on the ring being used as a kick bag by Marina, and she was practicing her knee strikes like Willow wasn't even a living being. But it was a temporary turn, as Willow soon whips Marina into the barricade that fences off the ring and like announcing area and the timekeepers area where like the doctor is and stuff. It's a perfect little corner of destruction, and it's a weak barrier, but it's also, I mean, all the barriers aren't great to be like kicked into a shore, but it's like metal and everything. It's not great. I imagine that the talent and the intestinal what is that saying? The intestinal fortitude? Yeah, I think that's it. But that's not what I was going to say. The intensity of this feud will make it hard for either wrestler to get the upper hand for a very long time, in this match, especially early. I mean, even later on, like the stamina of everyone, it's going to be a bit hard, but especially when you've got like two people who can do anything on each other, it's going to be hard to get the upper hand, that's for sure. Willow has continued to attack Marina's ribs. Seems to be that this is where she's getting, where she's going to be aiming her attacks on, and tries to whip her over for a suplex. But as we see, as Willow's going to get her over for a suplex, coming towards us is Moxley. He is stalking down from the other side of the ring, and I'm like sitting there going, Willow, turn around. But she ain't going to be able to see or hear anything. Marina quickly reverses it, and Willow goes crashing down to the floor from Marina's suplex. While Willow doubles over with pain, Marina and Mox retrieve a table from underneath the ring, because remember, this is all legal. The one way to definitely get a live crowd worked up is to guest star a table in your match. You can also use a table to cock tease fans real good too. If you want to be a little shit, it drives them nuts. Get out a table, set it all up, and then just leave it there. They'll go insane. Because I don't know what it is about like a group of people, but when there's like a hint of like a hardcore match going on, even if it's like a normal match that has just slightly gone a bit array, the "we want tables" chants will just begin, just out of nowhere. Like if it is a hardcore match, they begin at like not even a minute, they begin at like 30 seconds. It's ridiculous how much wrestling fans really want tables. Whew! It cracks me up. But when they do it like 30 minutes, 30 seconds, and I wish it was 30 minutes, 30 seconds into a tables match. It's like, guys, stop trying to pre-ejaculate. Just let it fucking rise, okay? Do some fucking foreplay, for goodness sake. But once this particular table is set up, Willow pounces on Marina from off camera, and Marina gets a stiff forearm to the face. Marina is once again sent into the side of the ring, and it looks like I said before that Willow is definitely targeting those ribs of Shafir. Willow rolls Marina into the ring, and suddenly the bell rings. So this is a concept I hadn't even thought had not happened, but it seems also in a tornado tag match, you not only have to end the match in the ring, but you have to start the match in the ring. And apparently no one in the match had decided to do that until now. So now the match has finally begun. While Willow tries to get some power moves in on Marina, Shafir twists and turns her body whilst still keeping control of Willow. And Willow finds herself at the absolute non-mercy of Marina Shafir's judo. Now, I think I would have mentioned this before in like the rundown, but it seems like Marina has been like really adjusting and tweaking her judo to adjust to the pro wrestling style of things, like not necessarily what she does, but how other pro wrestlers move and what they would do. Whew, getting even more dangerous here, people. Willow has absolutely no choice but to follow her body, or else her arm is going to be dislocated in a second. Ugh, and I have weird heebie-jeebies when it comes to that kind of shit. I don't know. Ugh. Marina scrambles to gain control of Willow's head because she has slipped out of her grasp. She is unable to, and is instead powered into the corner by Willow, who then plants her there with an echoing chop that made the entire arena wince with pain. Whoo, damn, because it was so quick from Willow going from being like all like tied up in Marina's judo and being like, damn, fucking hell, the hell's she gonna get out? So like she just has got this, like the intenseness of this fight has just like ramped her up, and she was just able to power out, and then she just fucking went. She gave her a bitch shut up chop. Whoo, it was rough. We are in Illinois. By the way, it is a place called Peoria. Peoria. It's a really simple thing to say, but I knew I'd get it wrong. Peoria. Yeah, Peoria. You were all great. Awesome crowd. Loved you. Thank you so much. A few smarks, but it's all right. It could have been the same person every time as well, because it kind of sound the same. So it's probably just one person letting you down. But you were great. Great crowd. Thank you. Bravo to you. Give yourself a little treat. Willow continues to beat up Marina, and she drags her to the other corner and replants her there with another equally echoing chop. A snap suplex by Willow onto Shafir makes Marina roly-poly her way out of the ring in an attempt to avoid any more punishment for a tiny moment. But all she gets is another forearm to the chest from Willow, some violent floor work, and then Willow's foot on her throat, pinning her into the corner of the barricades. Those same barricades we mentioned before, those very handy barricades. Marina gasps for air in perfect lighting and framing. And while the crowd is going wild behind her, just loving seeing her gasp for air in such a way, Willow is, like I say, like Marina's like really getting that judo in, but Willow's power is overcoming anything that Marina's been able to do to her so far. She didn't prepare. I mean, you can't prepare for just someone's just strength, you know? After a superb standing drop kick from Swerve, he gestures for Willow to join him in the ring now that she's done choking on Marina. She is happy to join, and she just leaves Marina in a slump in that lovely little corner. They double team on Mox with a backbreaker from Swerve, and then Swerve holds Mox in place while Willow flies at him with a shotgun dropkick that turns Mox absolutely inside out. He flips up over and he's dead. And Willow and Swerve keep up the double team attack on Mox while he holds himself up in the corner of the ring. Both wrestlers slam their bodies into Mox. Swerve gets the assist from Willow and she whips him into Moxley with full force. Swerve then snapmares Mox, then crashes down onto his back with his diving European uppercut. Very cool. Very, very cool. While these two start showing off their moves in the middle of the ring, another little bit of, hot dogging, which was also a little bit too early, Marina springs into action and pump kicks the boogie right out of Willow. Willow gets hung over the middle rope, and Marina uses her leg to push down on Willow's shoulders, just casually choking her out on the ropes. But it's just for a minute, as next minute, Marina flings Willow into the corner and gives her a stinging chest to the chop to the chest of stingingness. That was a little bit of payback from before. While Swerve, on the other hand, gets thrown over the barricade into the crowd, Marina is once again using Willow's body as a kick bag. Moxley is making his way into the ring, which is a little worrying. He sees a perfect opportunity to embarrass Willow in front of the crowd, and he directs Marina to choke Willow again, but this time to face the crowd while she does it. And Mox just stands there hurtling abuse at the crowd while they're facing her, and she's screaming and she's choking. And the fans absolutely bite, by the way, and get insanely loud with their barrage of abuse back. Once again, crowd, you definitely played your role, especially during this match. Thank you so much. You just really gave it to Mox, because that was not on. Willow is gasping for air, but Marina just gives her a second to do it in, because very soon Marina is once again using Willow's body to practice her strikes on. Mox, seeing Swerve is still down, gets in Willow's face, talking shit, whilst Marina continues to give her a bash in the corner. It's very bullying tactics. I was not a fan. Willow, though, comes back at Mox with a heavy slap to the face, and everyone everywhere losing their watching this loses their shit, because finally Willow has fucking slapped him in the face. Willow versus Mox, last man standing match. This is what I want. Fantasy booking right now. Give it to me, or I'll just write it in my head and we can just have it that way. But give it to me now. Mox walks away, muttering to himself the way that he does, as Marina continues to take her revenge and beats on Willow. How dare she hit Moxley? Circling back, Mox grabs Willow by the head and puts her in a front headlock, about to put Willow in one of his finishes. Either it would have been the Death Rider or his lifting underhook brainbuster. Which is the lifting underhook brainbuster, or the paradigm shift, which is a lifting underhook DDT. So they both start the same. Both are devastating, but I'm not quite too sure what one he was going to go with. But thank goodness he couldn't, because Swerve finally, well, not finally, I mean, he was thrown into the crowd, but he has been able to finally get back into the ring, and he grabs Marina and lifts her up, suspends her into the air for his finishing move, the big pressure. 1-0, which is a half Nelson wheelbarrow driver. So basically, if you need to envision this, it's like Swerve has Marina back to his back and like a kind of like a front kind of backpacky kind of thing, and her arm is all like back here, audio, means behind his head with like his arm around it, and he's basically like got his hand behind her head too, so it's just going to be like a full-on pancake, like kaboom, like full-on death. So those two are standing there. Swerve's got Marina in this compromising position. Mox has Willow in hers, and we're just at a standstill. Mox has like completely stopped what he's doing. He is conflicted, but because Marina can like just look at him, she's like looking over to him for the side, and she is just screaming at him, absolutely screaming at him to just do it. Just do it. She doesn't give a flying fuck. She is screaming with her whole body for Mox to just do it to Willow. Just do it. Do it now. Like, she does not give a flying crap about her own predicament. She is only concerned with the victory. Purely, I think she's only concerned with Mox's victory. I'm not saying there's like a lust there at all. No. There's like a full on, like, you know, like like full admiration. It's a bit more than that. Like, I don't know, like when you think about like old like kung fu movies, and you've got like the master and the yeti, you know what I'm talking about. So as Marina like finally just screams at Moxley, fucking do it, Mox caves and releases Willow. I would have thought they would have done it, but no, apparently that actually made him turn them off. Marina is also in turn released, and she just falls to the mat, kind of exhausted, because that was also a really rough situation to be in. Willow recovers quickly, and she pushes the arguing Mox into Swerve, who bumps into Marina, and all the fellas roll out of the ring. The two wahine are now left alone in the ring, and they go straight back to hurting each other. Willow gets the opening and starts wailing into Marina with multiple shots to the chest, but is fucked when Marina uses her judo and hip tosses Willow down to the mat. Sidebar, Taz is in his element right now. Oh my god, he is loving calling all these like judo moves for Marina and just watching her like just pull it off in the ring in such a cool fucking way. Holy shit. I mean, I would like on like a nice soft squishy mat, I would love to be hip tossed by Marina, not in a kinky way, in a pure like, I just think it would be really fun just to be like, I don't know, like you're on your feet and you've like got complete like control over your body, and then like in like 5 seconds you're like whoa, and you're just like completely like on the ground, like whoa, now I'm over here. I don't know, it just seems like fun. Anyway, Marina then does one of the coolest fucking things ever. I rewound this moment heaps because it was so freaking cool. And I'm going to try and explain it to you now. Okay. Without over explaining it. But when have I ever not over explained anything? Willow is on her back facing Marina on the mat. Okay. Marina grabs Willow's leg, wraps her leg around it, rolls herself forward into a cradle, but it's not. Marina is doing a full roly-poly while her leg still has Willow's trapped. Marina has taken control of Willow's head also. So while she's gone forward, which is past Willow, she kind of like just grabs her head at the same time. Like you're going to go in for like a cutter, you know, or a stunner, sorry. But you're like also wrapped up and in a rolly on the mat. The result is Willow gets kind of catapulted forward while her leg is still trapped, and she just goes poof, like straight on the mat. But it's like there is a machine in my mind. I have no idea what it is or anything at all, and I can't get any descriptive words to even like Google something, but there's like something in my mind that like takes something and then it like pulls it ever so slightly, and then the thing gets like flipped over and like slapped on the thing. But I don't know what that is. But that's basically what happened to Willow. It was done with such perfect quickness and force and technique. Oh, it was stunning. I was stunned at what I saw. I was impressed with what I saw. And as I like think about this move now, like maybe that's what I was thinking of. Maybe it's not actually like a machine. It could actually be something I have seen in Tekken or maybe even Soul Calibur. Yeah. Actually, yeah. That sounds really familiar now that I've said it. I think I've seen what Marina did to Willow in this particular thing in one of those games. That's cool. It's so good. It's like a perfect little like pro wrestling move. You can see it like it makes such an impact from like far away, but also like close. The sound of your victim like slamming back on the mat because it's been done with such quickness and force means like you get like that doof, that real like in your soul feeling of like human flesh hitting something, and it's really, really effective and really fucking cool. I don't want to take that one. Okay. I don't want that one. That one looks brilliant, but also looks owie. No, thank you. Willow, quite rightly, gets the fuck out of there. And with Marina following, the two wrestlers start fighting on the apron of the ring. If you are listening or watching my show, whatever you're doing, without knowing a thing about wrestling, which is a really, really funny thought. Hi, Anne. The apron is the part of the ring you stand on before you step through the ropes to where the legal action is. All right. It goes all the way from post to post, and it's about 30 to 40 centimeters wide, which I think is about a footish. And so you can stand there and like do some shit. It's like where people stand if they're in a tag match. But a lot of moves get done on there. It's like the hardest part of the ring and yada yada yada. So that's all for you random non-wrestling knowers who are out here listening to me rabbit on, because yay, thank you if you do. As Willow goes to give Marina a big boot, Marina ducks under it and hooks Willow's booting leg over his shoulder. Okay, so we are still on the apron while we're doing this, all right? We are right in front of that table we mentioned earlier that has been set up between the ring and the announce desk. Marina is using every ounce of her strength to get Willow up on her shoulders, because Willow is like basically dead weighting her to like just not help her get her up at all, because I think she knows what's going to happen and she doesn't want to, she wants to avoid that as long as possible. But Marina pulls some strength out of freaking nowhere, and she actually manages to successfully powerbomb Willow down and through the table. The table smashes in two, and Willow is writhing in pain, holding onto the back of her head while the crowd chants, "Holy shit!" repeatedly. It was a thing of beauty. When I first saw it happen, I honestly thought that Willow had taken the entire table bump purely on her head, which didn't make sense because death, but it really did look like it. Like maybe like she just got like her biceps as well, but oh my God. So thank goodness we have that overhead camera of the ring. That camera is fucking cool, by the way. We get some awesome shots with that. They used to like, oh, sidebar. They used to have like some little like production. I guess the director does this or something, but like edits and stuff. And like sometimes we would go to like another camera and it'd be like catching a little bit of chitty chatty we weren't meant to be seeing. But they've gotten much better at doing that now. But so with this view, you can actually see that she did get like her shoulders on it as well. But whoo, she demolished that fucking table. That thing went perfectly in half. Damn. Mox comes over to mock the fans and also Willow, because he's a little shit now, who is still on the ground trying to get herself up. Mox makes arrangements with the broken table, because of course he does, and Marina puts boots onto Willow's abdomen, not helping her get her breath at all. She then uses her boot to just push down on her like chest area, and Willow just writhers in pain. I mean, what's she going to do? These guys are so nasty. Mox has done what he came to do, which is apparently, he just wanted to set up the table, and he buggers off to annoy Swerve. Off he goes. Marina takes Willow by the head and throws her face first into the newly arranged table, smashing it again in half, smashing the half in half, but this time with Willow's face, turning it into a rest stop for our dear Willow, who kind of just relaxes on it and takes a moment to die on the outside. A little resting moi for her to get. Ooh, it's probably the safest place at the moment. On a table, broken table at least. Mox has taken Swerve by the hair and he's choking him with his arm while he waits for his partner in crime, Marina, to come round to the side of the ring that they are on. Mox tells Marina to bite on Swerve's fingers and she obliges. No hesitation. If you were lost on a snowy mountain with Marina Shafir, she would eat you as soon as you made camp. There'd be no waiting for the rations to come out. You would just be cut, bleeding upside down. Well, what is it? Bleeding you out or something? You'd be dinner in a moment. That woman don't give no shite. Mox lets go of Swerve and he scratches and claws at Marina's face to get her to stop biting him. Oh, Swerve is scratching and clawing at Marina's face. I'm not understanding what I write. So Mox has let go of Swerve. Okay, I'm going to explain it to you so we can all understand what I just said. And Swerve, because he's now being let go, is now scratching and clawing at Marina's face to get her to stop biting him. Swerve is weak from all the choking, and Marina will only let go when she wants to. And this is now. From now, there are more important things to do, like help Mox set up another table he has gathered from underneath the ring. It seems like they know where all the tables are. The sight of the second table causes about 65% of the arena to just bust a nut right then and there. They weren't expecting another table, and when it did, whoa! We take a moment to check in on Willow, and she looks like she's trying to gather some sort of wisdom from the steel steps. She's not looking good, people. Back in the ring, Mox is holding Swerve in place while Marina uses him now for kick practice. With every kick, Swerve lets out a cry of agony. Mox throws Swerve into a corner and he replays a plan to Marina. Seems like there's some double team action coming Swerve's way. But Swerve was not putting his keys in that swinging bowl, and he swerves Marina's incoming violence, guiding her through the ropes and into the post. Oh, she guided herself through the ropes and into the ring post. Marina is quick, though, to get back into the ring to back up Mox, as he now has Swerve on the top rope. Marina runs in and gives Swerve a step-up knee straight to the face, which is like a step-up enziguri, I think, then climbs the ropes, and she digs her own nails into the former world champion's back, just dragging them up his spine. Not in a kinky way at all. Mox gets up and he joins in the scratchy backy fun. Both wrestlers are now up on the middle ropes, dominating Swerve, who's just sitting on the top rope there. They both have their nails and they are just dragging them up his back. They switch it up and look like they are about to do a double team on Swerve to the mat. But Willow's here, the hero of the locker room. She's returned to us. The wisdom of the steel steps has given her a plan. She instantly sees what's happening and races over to Swerve's aid, because unfortunately he is still going to end up on the mat, but it's just going to be a slightly harder way. The Hard Way, pod by Brett Michelle on YouTube and every pod thingy. Everyone in the crowd is on their feet. Willow takes no time at all to get into position. She has a plan. She gets herself between Mox and Marina, the Babe with the power bomb. Oh, and then Babe with the power bombs them to the mat. So okay. Two people on either side. Swervy's in the middle, okay? She shimmies herself between the two people standy. They're not facing her, they're facing outside. She Babe with the power bombs, every single one of them, and they take Swerve with them. And all three of them just land in this massive heap in the middle of the ring. I am going to take a moment to appreciate the absolute magnificence that is Willow Nightingale in this moment. She didn't fluster. She didn't take her time. She just saw something had to be done, went right in there and fucking powerbombed them. It was brilliant. Willow takes no time at all to get into position between Mox and Marina. She has a plan and she is going to execute it. She gets them both, adjusts herself very slightly, and she Babe with the power bombs them down to the mat. And they in turn are still suplexing Swerve, by the way. So he also goes flying. But everyone hits the mat with an echoing thud, and the whole arena just erupts in frenzy. It was a thing of absolute beauty. And you don't ever see that kind of strength displayed by a woman that often. So I was a big fan of that. Willow is still in this, but she needs the ropes to hold herself up as she catches her breath. Mox and Marina gather themselves in the corners, but they are going to be able to combine. But are they going to be able to combine their strength this time? Because they're going to have to. Willow probably has about 15% more strength than both of them at this time, and she goes to work beating out those numbers out of Mox and Marina. She slams her body into each of them while they're trying to recover in the corners. Marina is then whipped into Mox by Willow, and then Willow slams into both of them, then boots the living fuck out of Marina's head with a stiff kick. Mox is still lurking. He grabs Willow by her beautiful hair. But before he can do anything, Swerve and his knee comes flying in out of nowhere. Thank fuck he didn't need long to recover, and he just takes Mox out before he can once again try to do dastardly deeds on our beautiful Willow. Mox is trying to recover in the corner, but Willow has rage boosted herself up, and with a battle cry, she runs full steam at Mox and cannonballs into his limp body. Mox says, "No, thank you," and rolls his ass immediately out of the ring. Swerve goes to tend to Mox. Willow deals with Marina, and she slams Marina into the mat hard with an excellent spine buster. A high stack, and Marina rolls out for 2. Mox comes to the ring pretty quickly. It seems Swerve couldn't keep him down for too long, and he just throws Willow out of the ring. The guys go at it. The guys go at it. And Marina removes herself from the ring by slithering to the floor because she's quite fucked by now. Willow is back in the ring now when Mox is choking the shit out of Swerve with his falcon arrow into a rear naked choke. This was perfect. This was perfectly done. The little falcon arrow, you know what a falcon arrow, and then when you get down and then just right into the rear naked choke. If I had the talent, I would fucking yoink the shit out of that. It doesn't have a name as far as we know, but I mean, it's just a falcon arrow into a rear naked choke. But if he combines those into a thing more often, he totally should come up with some cool ass name for it, because that's a cool fucking move. Marina is also up, and she stops Willow from breaking the choke like she wanted to. Willow retreats to the corner, and Marina follows her with her feet and palms, wearing Willow down into the corner with just a barrage of shots. Marina is attempting to apply some sort of leg scissory choke thing on Willow, but Willow has some extra reserve, and she has pressed that turbo button, and she boosts more power into her legs, and she uses Marina's now body position against her. Adjusting for a slight second, Willow now has Marina in a powerbomb situation. She lines herself up perfectly where she last saw Mox and Swerve, and even though there is this human torso in her face, she perfectly slams Marina down onto Mox, breaking up absolutely everything. The crowd start chanting, "This is awesome," which is very appropriate. All four wrestlers take this moment to die and reboot again, enough to instantly start attacking each other again. Marina is judoing all over Willow. They roll out onto the floor. Everything is chaos once again. Marina is slamming Willow into the guardrails. And then, right when Swerve goes to connect his boot with Mox's face, Marina pushes Mox aside and takes the house call from Swerve right there in her face. Marina is out. She saved fucking Moxley, but she is DEAD. Willow is up in the ring and she sees that Mox is still on the apron. She runs full force at him and Mox just goes flying backwards, landing on the table that he and Marina had set up earlier. Crashing to the floor in a crumpled heap of pain, and Willow just lets out this amazing, just full-bodied battle cry of awesome. She picks up Marina's body and, just for kicks, slams her to the mat because Marina is still fucking dead. She gets her with that devastating babe with the powerbomb, and this time it's just for Marina and Marina only. The ref is there and she instantly counts to 3 with the bell ringing, the crowd cheering. Willow's music erupts in the arena and the good guys win. It's all dancing and partying and hey! Marina, Swerve, and Prince Nana celebrate in the ring with the trumpets playing. But we follow Moxley, who is up on his feet. Holy shit. He's holding his ribs, but he has a determined and dastardly look on his face, and nothing good can be coming from this. He's like pretending, like he's circling around Marina, but as soon as I see this, I'm like, oh no, this is not, oh no. He's walking around in like that way that only like Mox can, which makes him like look like he's got like snakes limbs. And I have this little running theory at the moment that when he's in the ring, because he's done this before, when he's actually in the ring between the ropes doing this little sneaky, I'm all full of dastardly deeds and it's got to get out of me, does it make him invisible? Because no one saw him. Absolutely no one saw him in the ring. It was insane. Everyone who was watching this, though, could, and I don't know if the crowd were trying to like give Willow a heads up or not. Maybe. But Mox just backs up to Willow. He knows where she is. He's trying to act all coy, but he's like feeling her behind him, right? He's like setting himself up and boom! Willow is down in the paradigm shift and fucking out of there. Everyone in the arena just turns on Moxley, booing the utter crap out of him, calling him an asshole in unison. Marina has dragged herself to the guardrails, heading towards the corners that they always use to exit in most situations. And Mox just has a shit-eating grin on his face. He's like, he has no pride qualms when it comes to that kind of stuff, you know? That doesn't eat at his morals at all. He says he has morals, but I just don't know on what planet they're on. Willow stays flat on her back in the ring. She's awake, but very hesitant to move. We all have a rather concerning, like 3 minutes or so, as the doctor who sits ringside is now in checking on her. And everyone's concerned. We don't know what happens. We fade to Marina, who's walking out on her own volition, but she is using Mox to help keep herself up. And yeah, and then we fade away. Shay, I'm having a smoky break. 1 second.
Cool.
1 second. Yeah.
Good timing. I'm rolling up right now also, so hold on.
Great
I'll
minds
pause
think
the stream
alike.
for a second.
Those stays fun. Oh, no.
We're live.
Giving everyone in the ring some space as we fade away, we scoot over to the announce team, who takes us out to the remarkably hasn't had to answer for her crimes yet, Renee Paquette, who is mediating the exchange of penance between Dax and the ref he yelled at and shoved, and himself and Cash, who looks constantly sullen through the whole thing. Renee is casually chic in pink. It seems that pink is her. If I'm in order, her spring color is pink. Apparently, it has like little decorated with tiny roses and paired with crimson leggings, which is a choice. But she always looks amazing. They do a lot of stuff over there, but we will just move on. At the pay-per-view Dynasty, the Owen Hart Cup will have its first matches, and both brackets get announced now. Coming in from the left-hand side of the tournament, we have Jamie Hayter versus Billy Starks and Thunder Rosa versus Chris Statlander. Ooh, they have done our girls dirty in this, haven't they? A little bit of shady booking on that one to put those two together in the first. So one of them is going to have to like eliminate fucking someone's dream, and then they're going to be like real mad, and that's just not going to go great for them. And I thought everything was going to be fine in friendships, but maybe not. Chris and Thunder, two women who have encouraged the success in the other, now have to fight each other. On the right, and this is where like one of the ones from like the Monet and Julia Hart are on the right, and they're the ones that we're going to be seeing at Dynasty. And we also have Athena versus Harley Cameron underneath that. Interesting that we have it is a very interesting bracket over on that side, because there's a lot of interwoven storyline and hate there, especially with the match that gets announced at Collision. It makes it even more so it's going to be interesting, because if Julia wins between her and Mercedes could be pissed off and interfere with Athena's match with Harley Cameron. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen at all. And I don't think that Harley is going to beat Athena. Not like straight. Like if what's happening than what I was kind of like, fantasy booking before about like maybe Harley going to the dark side again. Maybe there's some interference there. I don't know, because then it would be Harley versus Monet, and Monet would be like, bow down to me, like, well, not bow down, but like, like either she's going to think she's just going to win anyway, and it's going to piss Harley off or give Harley the inspiration to like beat her. There are too many like tangents my brain is going on with that, so we're just going to move on and just see what happens. One way Mercedes. Okay, no, I'm not going to get in on that. We're just going to move on. If I am honest, on the other side though, Starks beating Hayter would be quite the upset of the whole tournament, but I still can't take her off the board just because it's unlikely in my eyes doesn't mean that it can't happen, but it would be the upset of the tournament. And then with Thunder Rosa and Stat, they will just beat the crap out of each other. Them being friends is probably going to bring out the extra fighting spirit in each of them. And that's just could be rough. Bane and Ford could interfere if they wanted to, just to be pains in the ass. And because of what we discussed later, Bane might be in the pain in the ass mode. Like, you know how they were interfering before? But yeah, I don't really know. It is pretty open. In my mind, it's open anyway. But a lot can happen. An absolute lot can happen. Let's take a moment. Poise ourselves, everybody. Get yourself into the Hollywood mood, because the drum roll hits. The world goes gray, but it's rainbow in our hearts, because timeless Toni Storm is here. Our world champion has her title belt around her waist, adorned in a white silk flowing robe, lightly decorated with feathers, also in white. Timeless is in a white one piece with black polka dots. White is her color tonight. And she glides to the ring as fans cheer her on. No fears here. Our world champion poses in the ring and seems quite relaxed and even thoroughly joyful on this occasion, if I do say so myself. Seems really happy to fight. Yay! Penelope Ford is entering the building. Here she is, people. The one, the moment. Penelope motherfucking Ford is here. She's a super bad girl. She is in the gear that we love. She is not intimidated by the world champion's achievements or accomplishments. Penelope is here to play with your body and hurt you in as many devious ways as possible. Not getting kinky on that one either. As soon as the bell rings, Toni Storm and Penelope lock up. Toni pounds Penelope down into the corner and keeps laying forearms despite the ref counting to 5. It seems Timeless was joyful, but not because of the extravagance of the occasion, but the fact that she's going to be able to beat the crap out of Penelope Ford. Right, whatever gives you joy. Penelope is like, fuck this noise, and rolls out of the ring. Timeless is not far behind her, though, and goes out of the ring to follow her. But Penelope gets a kick in on the world champion's guts first. Seems like it might have been a bit of a ruse to lure her out onto the ground. The two wrestlers fight it out on the outside. Timeless rolls Penelope back into the ring, and Penelope takes advantage of this by putting the boots into the champion while she herself is getting back into the ring. Penelope gives Timeless an opening when she runs into the ropes. Toni Storm grabs Penelope, spins her around, brings Ford back first, down onto her knee for an appropriately named backbreaker. A gorgeous fisherman suplex from the Timeless one, and Penelope is held down for the pin. But it is just 2. A kick to the midsection of Penelope Ford, followed by a quick and very sexy suplex from the world champion, sends Penelope into the corner, and we are drawn into Timeless for that pose, which can only mean one thing. As she runs to Penelope for the hip attack, she only hits the turnbuckle because Miss Ford has rolled out of the ring and she avoids that move. Penelope is quick and she brings Toni's jaw down onto the back of her head and then drop kicks Toni, who then rolls through the ropes to the intended safety of the apron. But as we say an awful lot about things that happen on the apron, it ain't that safe. Ground not safe. In ring, not safe. Apron, definitely not safe. Top rope, mildly safe. Penelope has a plan for this, and she springs herself over the top rope and lands knee first into Tony's back. Ford mocks the world champion with a close-up pose of her own, but like a little bit more. But all she gets is boos from the crowd, and I think that's just rude. The two tussle in the ring for a bit until Penelope uses her flexibility and missiles a kick right into the world champion's face. Tony goes straight down to the mat, holding onto her face, probably to check that everything was in its proper place. Penelope mocks again, but this time it's the boos and the crowd just ramp up at her. She takes Timeless by the hair and drags her out between the ropes and onto that dastardly apron again. Penelope is continuously mocking the crowd. She has a bit of a shit. And between forearms, she eventually gets taken off guard by all this mocking by a headbutt from our world champion. If she'd been paying a little bit more attention, she wouldn't have been headbutted. We're in picture-in-picture now, and our announce team are literally taking the piss out of the ref while Tony gets her licks in on Penelope Ford. See, it seems not only I, but they have also seen the slackness in the ref situation recently. But once we are in the ring, Penelope hits back, literally, with stiff forearms to Tony's chest that send her flying into the corner. These women have really been working on their forearm shots. I mean, it's a simple move, but crap, so many people are just being thrown to corners with just simple forearms. You gotta love it. I mean, I say simple forearms. I don't want. Penelope stomps on Timeless, then drapes her over the middle rope to put our world champion in the rope choke that Penelope Ford does so well. She uses her legs for it. And then she just leans over and gets real, she's like wrenching your head backwards and forwards. And it's quite brutal, but a wonderful sight to see. She only has 5 seconds, of course, because this is an illegal move, but she will make the most of it if she can. The crowd is chanting for Tony, but she is currently in rather a painful predicament at the hands of our super bad girl. There's a roll up by Ford, but it is stacked high. And on her shoulders, Timeless is able to kick out, continuing to mock the crowd and torment Tony Storm. Penelope takes her by the arm whilst her body is limp in a sitting position, and she just kicks a dazed world champion in the side of her face before letting Timeless's arm go, and she just flops to the mat like a pack of spuds. Penelope quickly decides to go in for another pin after this and folds Tony up onto herself this time, as opposed to being a high stack. But the champion does actually still have some energy left in her, and she kicks out before 3. Unable to get to her feet, though, Timeless is still sitting, and Penelope takes advantage by taking both of Tony's arms this time, but wrenching them behind her, and then she repeatedly knees Timeless in the back. The super bad girl puts a rear choke on Penelope for a little bit, but then bashes the side of her head with her forearm at the same time. Changing tactics quickly to target a different area of Tony's body for an even beatdown, she just lays them in, and she's been choked and beaten. It's not good. Leaving Timeless's limp body on the mat, Ford performs her standing moonsault, and she lands it perfectly. It sends Tony's legs straight up in the air. Ford grabs them and then pins the champ. Is this going to be the 3? No. But it doesn't mean that Timeless has any more energy to fight back. It is quite insane how much Penelope Ford has taken out the timeless Tony Storm's stamina in this. So she kicks out at 2, but now she finds herself in a surfboard stretch. Penelope is grinding her knees into Tony's spine. She's now really working in on that spine. She really loves to dig those knees in. All the world champion can do is try to endure it, and she just screams out, "Oh my God!" Because, ow. Like, you just have like a little thing in your back when you're trying to lie down, and that hurts. Imagine having someone deliberately pulling you back and then kneeing you in the spine. That's not good. While we are still in this picture-in-picture, we get wisdom by the wonderful Taz, and he proclaims that a blonde will win this match. He's a smart man, that Taz, and he is not wrong. A blonde definitely is going to be winning this match. With a final push, Tony gathers all the strength from the cheering crowd because they are like fully behind her now. They are sending everything to her to try and get that stamina up. Tony is finally on her feet, but Penelope shoves Tony back down to the mat, and she goes to the corner to prepare to land her handspring back elbow onto Tony, who was dazed in another corner. Okay. The super bad girl lands her back elbow to the back of Tony Storm's head, and then she comes at her again with a running pump kick to the side of her skull. This is like a really predominant thing that you'll hear me say that like Penelope does a lot. It's really fucking cool. But this is one of the times that I've actually, because usually it's to the opponent's face with the handspring back elbow, but because of the way that Tony was just like leaning over the thing, it was to the back of her head, and that's got to be worse. And then Penelope always races over to the other corner to run along the ropes and then fucking pump kick you on the head. So if you get caught with that back elbow, you're either gonna like slump down or you're gonna get fucking whacked. As is tradition, Penelope starts to lick the world champion's face. But Tony does something Ford did not expect. And Timeless bites down on Penelope's naughty little tongue. Or it might have been lip. But I'm pretty damn sure it was her tongue. There was a lot of hair involved, so you couldn't quite see, but connection here was definitely being made. The only thing Ford could do to get Tony not to bite it off completely was to give her a stiff elbow into her stomach, and she starts laying in forearms to Tony's chest for good measure. So even though she's had her mouth almost completely destroyed by Timeless, she was still able to overpower her with these fucking hits. But this exchange of forearms with the crowd behind everyone, Timeless turns on Penelope and just starts laying forearms into Penelope herself. You with me? Timeless gets a barrage of forearms in until Penelope stops everything with a knee to Tony's gut. It's insane how like quickly Penelope can just stop this offense from Timeless with like just a couple of like power moves. I mean, good on her for like getting them in while she's being pummeled. Penelope shoves her off, but cannot stop the body slam that comes hurtling towards her from Tony. Tony Storm is gunning for her now, and she lands down on Tony's body with a big thud. Timeless lays in multiple shots to Penelope's noggin until she stops herself and gets off forward to scream out in a massive battle cry. You will hear me say battle cry an awful lot because these women are battle crying their asses off in the ring, and I fucking love it. You may have, noticed can be a bit loud sometimes. Tony repeatedly taunts Ford to come in to attack her. But every time Penelope does, the world champion takes her down. Penelope now finds herself down and hurting from all of that in the corner. Prime for Tony's famous and highly effective hip attack. Timeless hits sweet cheek music, if you need to know anything about that, head up RJ City's Hey EW episode with Rockstar Tommy Storm, and you'll get that reference. She pulls Penelope out of the corner and plows her head into the mat for a DDT. Tony goes for a weak pin, to be honest, and the super bad girl kicks out before the ref can hit the mat for 3. DDT and one hip attack did not do it. Penelope is close to the ropes, but she is still in trouble as Tony Storm pretzels Ford's legs into her own, twists her body, and now has Penelope Ford in a choke. Penelope stretches out her arm and eventually does grab the rope, but it was freaking close. She almost tapped out. Timeless is frustrated and has a few spicy words to the ref, but she soon gathers herself and focuses back on Penelope. Ever the professional is our world champion. Penelope turns the tables, though, on the champion, and she just throws her out of the ring. Timeless tries to get back in, but Ford grabs her head and pulls it down onto the ropes. Timeless lands throat first and is catapulted backwards. Staggered but still on her feet, Timeless Tony Storm is soon the landing pad for a flying Penelope who comes off the ropes with a moonsault. Not off the ropes, off the apron with it. See, a lot of shit is happening on this apron. She lands on top of Tony Storm, but she is quick to her feet. Not even the fans can stop themselves for cheering for that one. It was absolutely glorious. Anytime anyone can land like a moonsault onto someone else and then just stand up and be like, yeah, bitch, I did that, is like, whoo, that's amazing. On her feet, Penelope looks out at everyone like, I am that good, and then turns to throw the Timeless one back into the ring. Tony rolls in, and the super bad girl gets herself in there as well. Penelope picks our world champion up and hoists her onto her shoulder with ease into a fireman's carry. Like, Tony isn't massive, of course, but Penelope isn't massive either, and I was really impressed by this strength. Penelope not only could lift her up, but for this little move that she's going to do, is going to be a gut buster. And you've got to like heft the person up a little bit so they do a mini like little fly. You go backwards and the opponent just lands down on your knees. So you gotta like, whoo, it's insane. The super bad girl thinks it's over and she gets on top of Tony for the pin. But no. It was a good pin after such a vicious move, yet Timeless Tony Storm strongly kicked out at 3. Exhausted but not giving up, our world champion rolls over and onto her knees. Ford is on her knees, on her feet first, and has anger mixed with mild frustration in her eyes, in my opinion. And she tries to kick Tony's head off with a beautiful roundhouse kick. But Tony Storm ducks it and then springs into action, quickly getting a waist lock on Penelope, and as quick as lightning, in snapping that suplex, Ford gets slammed into the mat, landing high onto her shoulders. Tony attempts to put a dazed Penelope in a Storm Zero, but Ford tips the balance again against Timeless and body slams Tony, who crashes down to the mat. Penelope goes down too, and Timeless still has her arms locked around Ford's waist. Tony gets to her feet, bringing Ford with her, and she grabs a handful of Penelope's hair. A lot of people do this to Penelope, and attempts to knock her out with a short lariat. The super bad girl's instincts kick in, and she backbends to avoid the lariat, going into her stunner, but it's pushed off by Tony Storm, because Tony Storm has seen this many a times, and it wasn't pulled off as quickly as Penelope would have liked either. So this little stutter in time got her in the move real quick. Was able to give Tony the amount of time to push her off. As Penelope comes back at Timeless off the ropes, she gets a boot to the gut and is soon out for the count. Gets pinned by the world champion. And this is the 1, 2, 3 right here. Ding, ding, ding. The crowd erupts in cheers. Those who were not already get to their feet, and our battle-hardened champion is handed her title belts, has her arm raised, and it's victory! Our champion is absolutely stoked as she acknowledges her crowd, thanks them all for standing behind her. It is not over for Toni Storm, though, as Bane walks out to the entrance stage to make sure the world champion has her mind on her, where she thinks it should be. Megan is breathtaking in white, from winged headpiece to figure hugging dress. She's in a dress tonight, people, accessorized with delicate pieces of gold jewelry. Woo! Toni Storm stands in the ring, though, defiant, and holds her title belt up high with the confidence of someone who could go 10 rounds again. Bane is snaring at the crowd and giving Timeless the evils, but doesn't budge from where she stands, no matter how many times Toni Storm tries to lure her in for a fight. A little unsanctioned fisticuffs before the big batch at Dynasty, perhaps? Nah. Bane only moves ever so slightly to assist Penelope, who has finally made it up the ramp to her side whilst clutching her ribs in a lot of pain. We leave the champion in the ring, holding the title belt up still high as we fade to the black. No, we fade to back. No, we fade to the back. There we go. Where Willow is getting a lovely little massage on the back of the neck. And the remarkable Renee Sleeping Dragon Paquette has some goss on the situation. She's distracting me now in my own notes. Renee asks the worried, enraged, and always handsome former world champion Swerve Strickland if he has any update on Willow's condition. Swerve puts Willow over big time, calling out her power, strength, and his absolute faith in her ability to take Mox on if needed. Seems I'm not the only one who wants a hardcore match between Willow and Moxley. At the mention of Mox, Renee's mouth twists with disapproval, because you can bet your bottom dollar that I had my eyes peeled on that woman's face. But I don't need to tell you that, do I? You already know I have my suspicions. And you know why? Because it makes for fun little lore. And I love making up lore. After Swerve delivers his passionate death threats to the Mox through the camera, a slightly miffed Renee tells us that we will do our best to keep us, the fans, updated on Willow through the night. Now, that wasn't my fuck up. That was Renee's fuck up. And I'm not calling out fuck ups on people, because we have an entire, I don't even want to know how long, rendition of my fuck ups. But she said breast, and it was funny. We end Dynamite with Renee back to tell us backstage that we are going to get some more words out of an even more enraged Swerve Strickland right now, if that was possible. Swerve is currently arguing with Prince Nana as we come upon him. Prince Nana walks away from Swerve, mad as hell. Swerve is also not in the best mood either, and he especially doesn't want to answer any questions from Renee. He tells her to her face, and with all due respect, I'm looking for your husband right now. And he starts walking down the hall towards us. Renee, I noticed, walked down the corridor to her right very quickly, but we follow Swerve. What's she doing? Hangman comes through the backstage curtains at a level 10 mad, yelling at Swerve while he stomps up to him, and they rage is coming out of every pore. Hangman and Swerve then go on to have one of the most powerful promos in all of history. My heart left my chest, and it is absolutely perfect. The Death Riders ambush Swerve after he leaves Hangman, and we see that Marina's right arm is in a sling. Not that we wish hurt on anyone, but I mean, she kind of deserves it. She stomps on a security guard, which is very rude, while Mox and the others take down Swerve. Swerve is thrown into some glass that's just like there in like the side corridor, and then he's just dragged to the ring. Before we pan away, we can see that fucking Yuta is gathering the broken glass up in a steel bucket. Marina is still mad and she is still hurt. Haha! Swerve has been successfully dragged ringside, and Marina takes this opportunity to stomp on Swerve's back while he is down. Rude! While all the Death Riders hold Swerve in place, Marina is talking shit in his face while he just stares at her. The nerve! The audacity, woman! The Death Riders fuck off into the crowd, but Marina still won't take her eyes off Swerve. She rubs her injured neck while the other Death Riders stare back at Swerve, who is now standing in the ring. Something else has happened in between here, but we're not here to talk about that. It involves glass. Ow, wow, ow. Death stares. We fade out while Swerve's music plays in the arena, and he gives the evils to everyone. That show was awesome. It was really, really good. I did not tell you all about the tag match that we found out that was coming up in Collision. I was saving that for later, and I didn't get to later. So, for Collision that we are about to watch now, we get a tag match between Mercedes Moné with Harley Cameron versus Athena and Julia Hart. Jazz hands everywhere. Tag, I love. All the ladies, I love. Entrances, I love. Music, I love. I'm a happy little camper. I'm so happy that we're just going to go straight there right now. It's Dynasty Weekend, people, and it's kaboom, and it's Hanabi, and it's fire, and it's woo! We are still in the Illinois, and if I didn't mention this before, the crowd is packed. I know they were great. Like I said, they were great, but it was also packed. It was so fucking cool. So many people there. The production is getting better and better every week. We get a promo about what just went down on Dynamite that we just saw, and it just gave me goosebumps because they went through the whole thing with like Swerve and Hangman as well. And woo! Then we get a great promo for All In that's coming up in Texas, Show Up Texas, on July 12th it is, which is a Sunday. Cross your fingers that I have that Sunday off. Please, because I have no leave yet. I have no leave left because I've taken it up with things. Tattoo things. Ooh! Everyone think for me this Friday is tattoo day. Yay! So by the time this comes out and you see me again, this arm will be one session in. Oh, yes. But enough about me. So yeah, everyone fingers crossed that on July 12th, Northern, 13th, Southern, that your girl here has the day off because I can watch All In live, and watching them live is just insane because I get this really cool like extra bonus like feeling of like they're doing this like right now and I'm here all the way down here, but I'm watching them doing it and they're doing it all the way over there. As you just get this like extra little like connection. Be cool. And I get to talk to everyone while we're watching, and it will just be cool. So fingers crossed. I didn't check my calendar before this episode came out, so I'm either happy or sad next week. We'll find out. Lexi Nia is here to ask Jay White for an update of his injury. And they discussed it. He's not eligible to compete in the Own Cup because he's got a stupid broken hand after, I think it was a scuffle with the Death Riders. Stupid Death Riders. Tonight we have straight-haired Lexi, and she is elegant this evening in brown. Her features are accentuated beautifully by her gorgeous makeup. Her golden earrings and mix of brown chunky bracelets just tops it all off. Whilst Jay White has this look of just despair, looking off into the distance. His brain is completely taken over with frustration of being injured at this peak moment of his 2023-2024 2025 moment. But as a wrestler, you have to work through these things, and he'll be back. Our boy will be back. Lexi stands poised, mic at the perfect height and never out of place. Only her expressions tell the tale of what she's thinking, while Jay White delivers another top tier mother fraggin' promo. Moment of appreciation for my countryman. Thank you. He absolutely killed it. Lexi is standing as Jay White leaves the interview area, and she gives us one of those, oh well. Well, not like an oh well, but like a that sucks, but what are you gonna do? And we fade to the ring. Next up is a match that you might be surprised that I'm talking about. Or if you're actually really smart, you won't be surprised that I'm talking about, because our next match is Crew versus Top Flight. And that means we get blessed by the presence of Layla Gray. Oh, damn! Respectfully. Absolutely respectfully. 100%. I had to pause for real life. All respect, because when Layla Gray came out to the entrance, no fucking bullshit. I'm talking like we're like, it's just you and me. Oh my God. She's looking beyond gorgeous. Respectfully. But my breath was taken away. Oh my God. So, Layla is all in sparkles. This like one piece sparkle thing, which is a bit like showgirly, but that's absolutely fine. This is wrestling. It's also like open at the back with like these little like, what's she doing to us? And she's all voluptuous in the front. Layla Gray is wearing thigh-high silver boots, these long silver gloves that actually took me a lot longer to realize she was wearing. A choker also matches her outfit, and her hair is just all out and flowy, and it is all amazing. No one on this planet will care other than me, but I might do my own little personal like best hair in AEW tier list just for my own amusement. Another thing, when Layla Gray came out, this is one of the things that like actually made me had to stop and pause, because she was fully giving me like Marilyn Monroe vibes with this whole outfit and like her demeanor and like just everything. It was really Marilyn Monroe. Anyway, the men fight. After that match, we swing back over to Lexi Nair, who is between Jamie Hayter and Billy Starks, who will be facing each other, as we said, in the Owen Hart Cup. Jamie's hair is full and looks very soft, but no touchies. No matter what, keep your paws to yourself, people, unless invited. Jamie is rocking her 70s inspired look in blue jeans and long jacket, which, to be honest, this whole look would have totally worked in my high school in the late 80s. Like all of Jamie Hayter's look tonight would be in a local op shop, and the girls would be raiding it, and to put stuff over their petticoats and their bootcut jeans. It's absolutely a vibe from back then. Sidebar! I am so excited that bootcut jeans have come back. Yay! Bootcut jeans are the best. They're the best jeans in the world. Billy is in a sophisticated look, which I hadn't expected from her. Everyone has amazing skin. If I was making a tier list, the whole S tier would be absolutely full, because I'm just that complimentary of people. I just think people are great. Well, that isn't a very slim line of people. It's not every people are great. This is just carrying on. Billy is in a black strapless dress that sparkles when she moves. Her hair is half up in the traditional little double buns action. Both wrestlers have big smiles on their face. So far, so good. Everything's going well. Lexi opens up the interview, and she asks Hayter if she was impressed by Billy Starks. Jamie is chipper and has many pleasant things to say about the young Billy Starks, and she really puts emphasis on young, which I don't think Billy was very happy about. She's probably heard that like a million times. Like her and Julia have probably heard the word young like more times than I've had to restart my brain. Hader shakes Starks' hand enthusiastically and praises her talent. Hader is giving off an almost older sister vibe who doesn't have the same dad as you and has been hitchhiking around the country for a year and has now come back and is ready to be the mentor you need at this time of transition in your life. You know, that kind of vibe. Billy changes that whole vibe dramatically. She grabs Lexi's hand and the mic and passionately, with just a hint of crazy, tells Hader that she will be seeing all of her potential in the ring. Because apparently she's been trying to tell everyone about all of this potential and no one's listening to her. So we're going to see it in the ring at the tournament. Jamie is impressed with this passionate response from Billy, and her eyes start to twinkle with glee as we fade away to Danny Magic. Moving on. Daddy Magic is back. But we're here for the remarkably getting away with it Renee Paquette, and she is beautiful in red. Her skin tone and the color of her blonde really complement red. I wear it and it just looks weird, but I hate wearing colors anyway. Renee is here to mediate / get the scoops from Adam Cole Bebe, who has settled into a very complimentary tan color now. Bravo, sir. If we were going to give awards to the most improved tan, I think Adam Cole Bebe would be winning it. Bravo, sir. And Daniel Garcia, which is why Danny Magic is here. Adam has the boys, Rotto and Kyle, behind him. Daniel has Daddy Magic, as I mentioned. Everyone, though, is told to bugger off, including Renee. So it's off to the next segment. We're back with our friend Lexi Nia. She is interviewing Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander, who, as we discussed earlier, will be facing each other in the first round of the Owen Hart Cup. Everyone is gorgeous and still kind of mad. I love Chris's top. It's like a black cardigan with like safety pins that like go up in the front there. It's like simple but very sexy. Thunder Rosa is in a gray crop top covered in eyes, and her face paint matches in gray and whites and blacks, and it's like a spider webby up here, and it turns into like a jaw design around here. And then when we go in a little bit closer, we can see she's got like this blue shimmer eyeshadow. I think she's wearing an evil eye necklace again as well. I wonder if the eyes on the top are related to that sort of thing. Anyway, the match will be the first time that Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander are actually facing each other. And I'm astounded by that, considering how long both women have been in AEW. This makes this even more exciting. And both women are determined, like I said, to win this entire tournament. So it's probably going to be a long one. Are there time limits in the Owen Cup? Because if there are, I could see this one getting dangerously close to that. As I wrote all of this, my sickos out there in the world are currently watching Dynasty. So shout out in the past, in the future to all of them. But then, holy flying fraggles, I am brought back to earth real quick out of this little mind tangent as things have heated up really quickly between Rosa and Stat. It started off fine, like I said, but then they got in each other's face and all this talking, and Lexi knows that the situation is going to get rough, and she just gets the frick out of there in the nick of time. Thunder Rosa pushes Chris in the chest. Stat's hand whips out quick as lightning, kind of scary, and goes straight to Thunder Rosa's choke. Throat. Like she's going to choke her. It's kind of scary how quickly that happened. Rosa slaps Chris legitimately fucking hard on the side of her face, but she doesn't move her. But Chris doesn't move her hand from at Rosa's throat. Resisting escalating things any further, Chris pulls Rosa close, delivers her final words. and then leaves. They don't leave on good terms. In fact, if anything, there might be a bit of animosity there now. When we come back from the musical interlude, which is like, oh no, wait, is it the Dynamite one? Oh no, the Collision one is like, and you all these drums is like, and it's really shitty actually. We get graced with a lovely little promo for Dynasty's match of Timeless Tony Storm versus Megan Bayne. My predictions for this match. Can I see Timeless losing? Honestly, I can. But can I also see her winning the bloody thing? Yeah, I can too. I can see all things happening. So I can't wait to watch it. We now have our main event on Collision, and it's another women's match. Yosh, yosh! I love that so much. 2 fucking collisions in a row, and the main event is a women's match. Please keep this up. I may just get a tad overjoyed with emotion, like a late 16th century corseted woman seeing an elbow for the first time. But please bear with me. I've been like waiting for this kind of stuff for so long. It's a tag match, so I'm even happier. Our TBS champion for Belts and Boats, Monet, the CEO, Mercedes Monet, is out first. And big sunglasses from Heel Sunglasses Are Us.com are on her face. I don't know where they fucking come from, but Jesus, they were awful. And she's in a really comfy looking fluffy jacket. Like this one, I really, really want. Like it's not black or anything. It's like brown and snuggly, and it's kind of the thing that you just kind of want to lump and fall asleep into. Okay, I have a thing for jackets, all right? You may have figured that out. This is why wrestling is perfect for me. Swerve, he has amazing jacket. We're not going on a jacket tangent. Coming back quickly. Our TBS champion is covered in her gold, so I have no idea what her battle gear is at the moment until she de-golds herself. Mercedes, it turns out, is in greens and browns in this lovely little one piece, which is laced in all these different little areas and trimmed in gold, fit for a champion. She's looking gorgeous in these tones. Who the fuck could that be? The only person not happy to hear that is Monet, because it's Harley time, and that's her fucking partner. Harley Cameron is all in black, kind of like biker gear styles, with an appropriate array of sparkles. They're everywhere. She is looking as awesome as always, covered in straps, sexy as hell, and wearing a crop leather studded jacket. While Cameron bounds down to the ring, Mercedes acts like she has no idea who her partner would have been and is like, who is this? Why is she here? Yeah, right, Monet. Pull the other one. You knew that Harley Cameron was going to be your partner, and you secretly yet begrudgingly love her. I can see it. And who is this? Who is ringside? Why, it's Muppet Monet! It's someone, also someone, everyone but Mercedes is happy to see. That I truly believe. I truly believe that Mercedes has deep hatred for Muppet Monet. She better watch her back. Not to take us out of the moment too soon, but there does seem to be some heartwarming chatter going on between the TBS champion and Harley Cameron when she finally gets into the ring. I saw those smiles. The distortion kicks in, and Julia Hart's music hits. I'll be back. I'm just going to lose myself in this entrance for a moment. Oh, please. Oh, darkness. Fire. I'm back. Julia is in long, very cool pants, which are in black and dark red, kind of shiny with a little black PVC. And it looks like her little bikini top is a black PVC thing as well, with like cool straps. And this cool little, I don't really know what you call it. It's like, I mean, I have one, but I have no idea what you call it. It's like this sleeveless thing, and it really only kind of covers like hair. But I love them, like as layers and stuff. So she's got one of those in red, and then she has these cool little arm things in like red and black, and with like the baggy pants. Fucking looks cool. I would wear the shit out of this if I'm perfectly honest. I am already happy, and I'm about to get even happier right now because the guitars are sliding down that bridge. The band is kicking in, and the opening riffs for our Forever Champs music has hit. I will behave. I'm going to be on my best behavior, and I'm not going to let my crushes take over this show. We are moving on. Our Forever Champ is in a fabulous mood in pink and multicolored patches of her battle gear. Her battle gear is looking so fucking cool, but she's also always had awesome looking battle gear. She is adorned in both the spinning and non-spinning ROH World Championship title belts, and just confidence just oozes out of Athena as she comes to the ring in her own unique way. There is no stopping her. No one can tell her she's not the best. As soon as Athena gets in the ring, her and Mercedes square up. The ref gets in the way and tries to split them apart. He's only successful because Athena has decided it's time to pose on the ropes. But as soon as she is done, the two champions snap back at each other again before retreating to their own corners. As the bell rings, Mercedes and Athena are already in the ring. They are going to be facing each other. They start shoving and slapping each other. It looks like they'll lock up, but then Monet ducks and then scampers to the corner to tag in Harley Cameron. Now, on Harley Cameron, though, she has no fear into coming into the ring, and she just gets stuck into the ROH Women's Champion. What we get next is some fucking glorious technical wrestling from Cameron and Athena. I was taken away. It was so beautiful. Cameron gets Athena down to the mat with a nice little toe trip. She puts her hand on the back of Athena's head to keep her down, then goes in for a choke. The two wrestlers alligator roll around the ring, never losing grip of each other. Cameron has wonderful control of Athena's neck through all of this, despite Athena's never-ending ability to counter. Cameron moves to Athena's arm, twisting it around, but that turns out to be a mistake as Athena one-handed cartwheels out of the grip of Harley and then arm drags her to the mat. Cameron is now on the mat with her own arm in a twisty little situation. Athena drags Harley over to Julia Hart and she tags in Julia. Julia takes over from where Athena left off and starts to gleefully destroy Harley's left arm. Mercedes tries really hard to go gadget her own arms in for the tag, but Harley Cameron is in the middle of the ring and Julia Hart, so she might as well be in the car park. Julia rolls Cameron up for a pin, but Harley kicks out at 2. Julia stays on Harley after the kick out, giving her no time to tag out. Hart throws Cameron to the corner and lines her up, but when she gets to that corner, Harley is no longer there. She has slipped through the ropes and now kicks Julia in the face. Bounding over to the ropes, Harley lands a step-up enziguri to a disorientated Julia, but when she pins her as only a 1, because Julia kicks out of that strong. With Mercedes yelling encouragement to Harley, Harley grabs Julia's arm and puts on what looks like some kind of nerve pinch on her arm and brings Hart with her on her neck, and brings Hart with her to the corner. Mercedes tags in and brings her to the middle of the ring. Yeah, because she's tagging in and I'm going to go back on that because I fucked myself up by saying in and ring. How can I fuck myself up by saying in and then ring? Those are completely different words. All right. So we're going back to and brings Hart with her to the corner. And then I will start again with the Mercedes tags in and brings her into the middle of the ring. See? Completely simple. All right. completely simple. Oh my goodness. Back we go. I've lost where I'm going. Where am I going? Aha! Yep, no, I'm back. Mercedes tags in and brings Julia to the middle of the ring for like a scoop something. We will never know because Julia wriggles out of it and has pulled the TBS champion down for a cheeky little roll-up pin. Julia, as you will like hear later when we talk about the dynasty match, she has got a lot of little sneaky pins in her arsenal now. This time though, it was Monet who angrily kicks out at one. Julia Hart keeps going and slides Mercedes down onto her shoulders for another pin. This is becoming like more and more technical, and I'm just fucking loving it. Athena is also loving what she sees, and we can hear her yelling out encouragement to Hart. Mercedes gets frustrated and grabs two hands of Julia's hair and pulls her down to the mat, slamming her head on the mat. And Monet scoffs at how devious she is. How will Monet's heel streak blend with Harley's good side? I asked this question, and it seems to be on my mind. We've already talked about that, but we will see what will happen, shan't we? Athena is cussing out the ref for his slackness over the blatant hair pull, but in typical ref fashion, they are not listening. Mercedes is playing with Hart now, and she is going to regret that soon. Monet thinks that putting Julia in the tree of woe is going to do something, but Julia could be in that position for hours because being upside down does not affect her like it would a normal wrestler. And she is able to get her torso up as the CEO goes full speed into the turnbuckles as she comes in with the double knees. Julia has used the core strength I wish I had, and still tentatively every now and then tell myself I one day will have. Oh, but I digress. Julia sits up and avoids the incoming knees. It's amazing. Julia now plays mind games with Mercedes. The TBS champion couldn't stand for that at all, and she runs straight back in at Julia, who again avoids her. Back rolls over Monet and brings her down to the mat for a pin. But it's just another two. This is another one of these little pins that Julia is using in her arsenal. Julia gains control of Monet's body again with a beautiful octopus stretch, wrenching her arm back, making the TBS champion scream. Harley helps by throwing Muppet Monet in the ring. I don't know who's distracted more, me or the ref, because all of a sudden Mercedes gets Julia with a lung blower and splats her out on the mat. So that whole like Muppet Monet thing kind of worked, I guess. Monet pins her, but it's still just a two. The CEO gets pissed and mounts Julia while beating down onto her head. She goes for another pin, but Julia kicks strongly out at one. This is the second time she's done a strong one kick out. Mercedes, like fed up, and she tags out to Harley. They double teams Hart with a suplex. Julia lands heavily, and Harley thinks that's enough to pin her. But of course, Julia won't stay down. What are you thinking? We pan out, and we can see the TBS champion has like hit the mat with like perfect heel toddler like frustration. She didn't get the pin, I mean, but you're joking, right? Harley goes for another pin after giving Julia some good knees to the abs and a nice little Russian leg sweep, but of course Hart kicks out at two. I'm not understanding this strategy right now. You need to drain Julia's stamina bar way more to be able to get a successful pin. Not to mention you have Athena, who's really, really close and can run it in to break up the pin at any time. So are these pins mind games? Mind games. A very sparkly Harley drives Julia head first into the turnbuckle and tags in Monet, who kicks Julia and uses her foot to choke her. All in front of the ref in the corner, while Athena and myself are yelling at the ref about how illegal this all is. It just keeps going on, and the ref is just like, oh, don't yell at me. And it's like, just do your job. The TBS champion thinks she can get a pin on Julia again after a meteor, but not denied. Athena starts to pound onto the top of the turnbuckles to get some energy to Julia and calls upon the crowd for the assist. But that dastardly, not good CEO tackles the forever champ off the apron. Didn't even do anything. Monet drags Julia by the hair over to her corner where she and Harley beat on her. The ref is not even looking at what's happening. He's too busy physically stopping Athena from getting to Mercedes. The ref is clearly in the pocket of our TBS champion, and that is just rude and should not be allowed to go on. AEW is a great wrestling company, but damn, those fucking refs are easily bribable. The ref then realizes he's being way too obvious and tells the two wrestlers to sort their shit out, and Mercedes finally tags out to Harley. Harley starts stomping on Julia while she is still in the corner, and the ref's like, this is fine. Can you believe it? Cameron whips Julia to the ropes and gets her flush in the chest with a back elbow, but somehow thinks that was enough to get the former TBS champion Julia Hart down for a pin. I'm getting sassy, but this is rude. Come on. I know I'm getting myself worked up here, but I like it. Rude. We get another tag to Julia. No, Monet. And Julia finds herself in a painful situation on the mat as Mercedes digs her knee into her back while wrenching back on her neck. A little payback for perhaps last time. Athena is on the outside in her corner, and she reaches out to Julia, trying to shorten the distance between their hands. Mercedes stops this from succeeding in a way by grabbing both of Julia's wrists and pulls them back. And she's now completely in the surfboard stretch. After Julia manages to get to her feet, which was an incredible task, she successfully gives Mercedes a jawbreaker. But it wasn't enough to stop Monet, who quickly regains control of her wrists again and drags Hart back to her fucking corner where she tags in Harley, and they continue to beat down on Julia. Ah, they're just keeping her in that corner, and that's smart, but freaking hell, I don't know how much more Julia can handle. Harley Cameron, thankfully, though, fucks herself over by being all fancy, and she gets a boot to her face by Julia Hart. After some scrambling and two stiff back elbows to Harley, Julia breaks free, and she dies for the tag. Athena is in. Mercedes is in. The two battle it out in the ring, both trying to out-wrestle each other. With a battle cry, Athena gets some momentum and lands kicks on Mercedes. Athena takes her down again with a drop kick that sends Monet over to her corner. Harley tags in, but Athena yoinks Cameron and puts her on her shoulders. Monet thinks this is a perfect moment to take advantage of, and she flies at Athena from the top rope with a crossbody. But holy flying fraggles, people, Athena catches Monet and now has both Cameron and the TBS champion in her grasps. The strength of Athena almost floored me. I had no idea she could carry this amount of weight. Oh! She takes a moment to center herself, and then she just hefts Mercedes over her head, throwing her for an overhead glomp thing, an overhead slam. Harley gets a good old Samoan drop, and our forever champ celebrates with a kick up, and we all everyone standing ovation. Bravo. Beautifully done. Mercedes isn't legal, but she acts like it anyway and counters the incoming rolling elbow. But this won't last long, as she soon is being flung out the ropes and crashes out through the ropes and crashes onto the floor from Athena. Athena lines herself up from the inside of the ring and then missiles herself at Monet, landing perfectly on the TBS champion. The ROH World Champion is on her feet, and she declares loudly that this is her show now. And I say, give her the keys. Athena gets caught by Harley, who takes her off guard with a swinging DDT, which was quite cool, driving Athena's face into the floor. Cameron helps Mercedes up, and they both go to grab Athena. Though neither have noticed that Julia is now up and she is on the top rope. She dives at all three of them with a crossbody, and it is just beautiful. Athena, I know, absolutely wouldn't mind taking a little bit of that move just to get them both down. Absolutely not. She's a trooper. Athena and Harley make it back into the ring before the ref can count them out. And it's Harley who gets a decent hit in on Athena first. And she follows it up with repeated forearm shots to Athena. I'm surprised, very surprised. Harley goes to the rope for momentum, but gets caught by Athena and is slammed backwards onto the mat. Athena keeps hold of Harley and uses her insane strength again to hoist Harley up into position for a power slam, taking time also to carry Cameron with her to Julia in their corner, who is now up for a tag. And only after that tag does Athena slam Cameron down to the mat. Holy crap. Julia takes flight with a moonsault, but unfortunately this is avoided by Cameron. But Julia lands on her feet. Julia goes to run at Harley, but is stopped by the CEO, who gives her a cheeky little backstabber. Mercedes tries to take Athena down, but the Forever Champ yoinks her and slams Monet down to the mat where she belongs. Harley comes in with a swinging net breaker to Julia, and everybody's down. Woo! As the crowd chant, "This is awesome." The two legal wrestlers, who are Hart and Cameron, slug it out in the middle of the ring. Cameron hits Julia with soul food and then some fancy ass suplex. I was way too tired to try and find out what it was, but it looked really fucking cool. Harley lets out a war cry, and with the feel the wrath, she sets up Julia for a finishing move. Julia uses her skill to get out of the move and goes to powerbomb her, but Cameron is going down to her knees and is dead weighting Julia, so she is unable to get her up. It's a very, very smart move. Harley gets control of Julia again, this time in a backpack type situation that Julia expertly uses to transition into an octopus look. That was octopus look, in case you didn't hear it. Harley is instantly in a world of pain. Mercedes hears Cameron's screams of pain and goes to break it up, but like a panther, Athena pounces down in front of her, daring the TBS champion to come into the ring. Harley Cameron taps out. Julia Hart and Athena are the victors. Athena kept Mercedes out just by staring at her. Pretty fucking intimidating, I have to say. While Julia Hart's music plays, they celebrate in the ring while Mercedes stares down Athena, making all sorts of promises about what she's going to do to her. And that takes us out of Collision. That was, like I keep saying, was really, really great. How cool is it to have another main event for Collision? For the women. I wonder if that will happen again. We've only got a moment to find out. Oh, exciting. Anyway, I'm fully fucking ramped for Dynasty. I am zoning out all over the place and my thoughts are getting all kerfuffled. So let's go to ROH before we get well into the Dynasty goss. So, Ring of Honor. I have a little bone to pick with you. Kind of, not really. It's a little cheeky bone. On a normal week, I may have had a bone to, whatever that saying is. But I went to go watch Ring of Honor. There are no women's matches on Ring of Honor at all. But at the time, it was kind of okay because my cat had come on my lap and he was like sleeping all over my arm. So it was making typing really difficult anyway. So in a way, it was a little bit of a, blessing. But you won't get away with that next week. Okay? Rude. Thank you. All right, I'm just going to take a little, this is me talking to you, Jen. I'm just going to take a little shaky break before I get into the energy of Dynasty, if that's okay. Alrighty. Alrighty, everyone. It's now time for Dynasty. Are We are in Philadelphia, and Philly loves wrestling. They are always great. Ugh, daylight savings over here fucked me up. So as I said, I wasn't able to watch this live, but that is okay because I got to watch it in the evening with friends, and it was a good little gathering. Fucking tired. Finished it at like about 1 a.m. But it was so much fun. I really enjoy every time any kind of thing is in Philadelphia. They always get like involved, and like really weirdly, they kind of remind me a little bit of like English fans. Like, bear with me here, only in the way that like with the sing-songy thing, like at tonight at Dynasty, they were doing the Tony Storm, which I only heard at like over in the UK. Maybe they did it in Oz, but I mean, but that would make way more sense. Yeah, so they kind of give me that little vibe. And they, anyway, moving on from them. I watch 0 Hour always, which is on YouTube, so you can always go back and watch it. We have the wonderful Renee Paquette, who's in Red again, and I think maybe they were leather. I think they were leather black pants. She really worked it off. The other wrestle and worked it off. I don't know what that means. She worked it out. There we go. RJ City is here helping me recover from this line. He is looking very sophisticatedly casual, but also like a child in man's clothing. And I just think he's rad. So that's why he gets a little, mention here on Don't Call Me Diva. He's not like a, well, he's a wrestle auntie, but he's not like a token, like one of the girls. Maybe he is. I don't know. It's up to him. I'm not going to make anyone a categorized thing of anything. If you want to categorize yourself, you do it to you. I'm not going to. Anyone goes anywhere. Harley joins us for some numbers. Apparently, she's been given that job. I didn't realize she had the skills, but maybe it's from her QTTV days. Maybe. I'm not questioning it. She is gorgeous in a sparkly pinkish disco ball teeny tiny dress, and she's looking amazing. She gives us the goss, and I don't know what's going on. In 0 Hour, we also get to see Mother Wayne and Layla Gray, but we're not there yet because we also get a little step in from Athena, our Ring of Honor world champion, who is not fighting tonight, but she's going to be keeping an eye on a little you-know-who. Athena is hilarious on the 0 Hour. Another like reason to go and watch it. It's free. It's right there. Oh, she's so brilliant. On to the first match in 0 Hour. Like I said, we get a very interfering yet ravishing Mother Wayne and the phenomenal Layla Gray again, who are both coming out in support of their teams for this trio match. Mother Wayne is, as always, dressed in just regal goodness, and Layla Gray is blowing my mind again in the old baggy green cargo pants with tiny bikini top thing. YouTube, free. Go have a look. On the main card tonight, we have Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart. And they're going to be third. And then the second one is Timeless versus Bane, and they are fifth. So, Moné versus Hart is the first of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. And they come out in their pay-per-view glory. Julia Hart is again in her gear from Collision. It's so fucking cool. She didn't need to change it at all. She doesn't need to change anything about her entrance. It's always iconic, pay-per-view or not. Oh, imagine, because I really love it when people like ramp up their entrances for like big pay-per-views. So when she finally gets one of her own, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be brilliant. But we get the fire, we get a pan out, and I think I've noticed this before, maybe new, but we get a really cool shot of Julia on the Titantron. It's so fucking cool. She's been doing amazing things. Moné now comes out. CEO is finally here. She is dressed all in fire. Her boots are insane. Her outfit is insane. Her hair is amazing. And it's all just like reds and oranges and yellows. And apparently, orange is a bad thing to wear in Philly, but I don't know, probably some sporty thing. Mercedes comes to the ring with all of her glory, all of her belts, all of her dancing, and Julia is ready for her. They lock up as soon as the bell rings. Harley happens to also be watching backstage. Her and Puppet Monet are just there. I am insanely impressed with Julia's technical skills and how they've grown in this match. Her and Monet just like worked amazingly off each other. The crowd is like fully into it. They are so behind Julia. It's ridiculous when like later on in the match, like Julia gets Mercedes into the Heartless and like the fucking roof of the place almost like flew. Like the entire arena exploded. Like I got the goosebumps. I was like wrestling goosebumps because I was like, everyone is like behind my girl. And like she didn't win and it sucks, but still she came off like really, really, really good in it. And I don't think that that loss is going to destroy Julia in any way. I think she still comes out of it strong. I unfortunately I don't know how much we're going to see of her like now because like she won't be in the tournament anymore, and I don't know what other storylines. I don't think she's in any other storyline at the moment, so it had to be a whole new thing outside of the tournament. But I do hope that something does happen because that would be great. And you know, I love her and really brilliant. Julia like is really ramping up on her pins as well. She gets Mercedes down and this beautiful crucifix bomb into a pin. But hey, I got to give Mercedes credit here, and I will because I'm not a hater on her at all. She got out of everything. She got out of absolutely everything. No dastardly deeds were done. It was all done by the book. No one interfered. We did see Athena as well. She was also watching backstage, but that's just where she stayed until the end of the match, of course. But yeah. Oh, did she actually come out at the end of this match? No, she didn't. Sorry. She just keeps watching backstage. So she doesn't even come out. She doesn't even come out to like take Mercedes thunder when she wins or anything. Actually, it's really funny how Mercedes does leave now that I'm remembering because she brings all of her gold with her, but she leaves with nothing because after she like gets that quick roll up on Julia for the pin, she just gets the fuck out of Dodge. She is not waiting around to get her hand raised. She's not waiting around to get her belts. She is just like straight out of there. And that just proves how fucking worried she was about losing it. I mean, Julia kicked out of a statement maker with fucking vengeance. And like she got her into a tarantula. This is Julia. Got Mercedes into like this beautiful tarantula. And then she did well, I don't know if we're calling it old school, but we know it's old school. She did fucking old school on Mercedes Monet. That was like, holy hell. I am not going to turn around and say that like Julia is like the lady, like Undertaker. Not at all. But it's really, really fucking cool that she took old school. And it's now Julia's. I love it. But yeah, we'll find out if she's calling it anything different. Not too sure. And her application of the octopus lock. And she's been using it for a while, but like I keep saying, like her ability to snap it on someone just by like running at them and then just kind of like you think she's going in for like a spinning head scissors or something, but nah, she's like stops herself and she grabs your arm with the thing and then you pull back and then you are fucked, motherfuckers. And she's just getting so good at doing that, and her stamina leveled up in her stamina. I don't know what the hell she's been doing in regards to that, but the beating she can take and the pins that she can kick out of now is just ridiculously amazing. Like, it's hard to say that. Well, not hard, but like it's silly to say like I'm proud of her, but I'm so proud of her. Like to see how far she's come in this, it's ridiculous. Mercedes is also lung blower Jones now. I like to say she is using that an awful lot, and I kind of like it. It's really, really nice. It's really, really cool. There were like a whole bunch of quick pins in this match, and it really did take a lot for Mercedes to actually pin Julia, to be honest. Like when Julia kicked out of the pin after the statement maker, just not long before she got pinned herself, though, the fucking crowd went nuclear again. It was ridiculous. It was really ridiculous. Like anyone watching this is just knows that Julia is a star, and she's going to be even more of a star, and it's just brilliant. She's got like her mannerisms down. This is basically all about Julia. She's got her mannerisms down, the way she like looks and holds her body. She's really owning that tree of woe. Oh, she's doing so well. The tarantula, the octopus lock, the ability to quickly get someone into a roll-up pin, the crucifix bombs into crucifix bombs into the crucifix pins. Jesus Christ. And her forearms. Like I didn't even mention her forearms. Her strength, like her strikes with her forearms is okay. And Mercedes was wonderful as well. It's not with any shade whatsoever. But yeah, we're gonna see Mercedes again. Like, of course, we're gonna see Julia Hart again, but I mean, like, we're gonna see Mercedes again in like another Owen Hart Cup match at least, and some other stuff. So we've got plenty times to continue gushing about Mercedes. But until I know the future storyline of our Miss Hart, I'm just gonna leave it at that. At a big old gush. She lost, but she's a winner in my eyes. So Bane and Tony was fifth. Like I said, Tony comes out in Rocky gear that I am told by everyone I think is like Rocky 2. I've seen them like once. They're not really my thing. Lucette comes out also in like I know this for sure. There's like the coach dude. He's like dressed up like the coach dude, I think, from this Rocky thing. I could be looking this up, but I really don't give a flying fuck. I prefer to be all vague and bleh about it. So, Bane, on the other hand, is in gold and maroon, and just gonna leave it at that because I think I've thirsted in this episode a little bit too much. So let's just dial it down a little bit and be professional. But fuck, she looked good. Penelope, of course, is here as well. So I'm extra happy. She's looking amazing. She's like matching Bane with the crimson, with having like the crimson in her hair, and she's wearing purple and black, PVC leathery deliciousness, and it's just amazing. Tony also is in not in, but her hair has been like plastered down and it has like little gold shimmers in it as well. It's very interesting. Her makeup already looks like she's been in fisticuffs. It's adorable. She's ready to fucking fight. She is ready to bow down with this Bane, and let's see what happens. Well, nothing good for Toni Storm happens in the beginning of this match. She tries really, really fucking hard, but Bane just keeps powering over everything that she does. Toni Storm like runs at her for like the I think it's called I don't think it's called the body. Oh, it might be a body slam, but basically you just run up to them, you koala the person, and the momentum takes them down, and then you just beat the living shit out of them. But the first time Toni went to go do that, which she's quite powered at, I mean, quite, high level at, Bane just yoinked her, and then she was just ragdolled by Bane for like ages and thrown around and all this kind of shit. It really wasn't looking good for Toni at all. I mean, she was in the fight, but she wasn't on top at all. Toni ends up out in the outside, out there. And Megan Bane decides to fly. But instead of wiping out the timeless champion, she wipes out Luther because Luther will stand in front of any obstacle for his champion. Launching off Luther, Timeless delivers an amazing DDT to Megan Bayne, and the entire crowd goes excitable because this is finally a time that Megan Bayne has Timeless has gotten it over Megan Bayne. There is a little bit of interference from our Miss Forward in this match, as to be expected, to be honest. A little bit of leg pulling here, a little bit of, grabby here. But Luther has seen enough, and eventually he just takes matters into his own hands because the ref wasn't fucking doing shit. And he just yoinks her and has Penelope Ford on his shoulders, wriggling like a mofo, and just drags her out. Well, not drags her, but carries her out of the ring to the backstage. And then that's late. She is wriggling. That Luther really had her in a grip because, woo, he would have dropped her if she didn't. But yes, so now Bayne is completely on her own. I mean, I wouldn't say that Penelope wasn't really taking the champion's mind off things. Those two little bits of interference were annoying, but I don't think they made too much of an impact. This match just continues to be heavily dominated by power moves from Megan. But our world champion is managing to wrestle herself out of trouble. Toni Storm's wrestling fundamentals have been doing her wonders through this run, and it's really working with the overpowered Megan Bayne. Megan Bayne stuns everyone off their fucking feet when she kicks out of a pin at 1 after receiving 3 hip attacks and a Storm Zero. She just stood up like she was fucking the Undertaker herself. Oh, I have to say, I think everybody watching it totally thought that Timeless's goose was cooked, because that just scared the living shit out of everyone, and you could see it on Toni's face as well. She really did have a moment of, oh fuck. But she didn't cower in fear, and instead she went straight back to Bayne, using her wits as well as her talent on the overpowered Bayne. Bayne had been trying to get the Fate's Descent on Timeless a few times, but Timeless had been able to stop it before she was actually able to get her up in the fireman's carry. Unfortunately, this time though, Bayne did actually get Toni up into the fireman's carry, and we're about to see a Fate's Descent on the Timeless Toni Storm. But what? What is she doing? Timeless is wriggling. Timeless has wriggled her fantastic ass outside of Bayne's grip. She's down onto the mat. Megan's in a tight little cheeky fucking roll. 1, 2, motherfucking 3. Timeless has won. Holy shit. Just honestly, at the moment where I thought everything was done for, Timeless and her wrestling fundamentals get her out again. And once again, she wins with a cheeky little roll-up with against a powerful opponent. Bayne being probably the most powerful opponent she's faced during all 4 of her title runs. Holy fuck. Everyone went wild, because I honestly think, like I said before, everyone thought that her goose was cooked. We thought we were, seeing a new champion, and some of us were kind of coming around to that idea during the match as well. Some people wouldn't have minded if Megan Bayne had got the old Brock Lesnar treatment. Me? You guys know how I feel about that kind of stuff. I mean, it's kind of fun. I don't know. I need a little bit more. So I'm glad that she didn't win. It's going to be very interesting to see what Megan does now, because Megan is absolutely enraged. Like, she is furious that she has lost to a roll-up. You know how it made Mariah May a little crazy when Toni Storm won with a roll-up? I think this is gonna be the same, but in, like, a way more violent fucking way. I am actually a little bit worried about whoever she faces next, because I think she's gonna treat them like Wardlow treated his opponents in his Powerbomb Symphony. Oh dear. We do actually see some stuff backstage of how they're going. It was posted on the Instagram. We go with the backstage cameras and we catch up with first Mercedes. She's all smiles. She's confident. She's even having a good little chat with Muppet Monet and Harley Cameron. You know, Harley thinks she's, got it in, got a good innings with the Owen Hart Cup. Mercedes is not really like giving her much props because Mercedes is still very much in her own little hype land. She really clicks back real quickly with her whole like, oh fuck, and then she's like, I won. No, everything's fine. La la land. I'm the best. So I hope for that reason alone, that audacity alone, Julia Hart like fucking gets a little cheeky one in on her, but we'll see what happens. So they're all happy as Larry over there now. Penelope and Bane, on the other hand. Penelope is trying to calm Bane down. They're like in the hall sitting on like some like equipment cases, and Penelope sees the camera coming, and Penelope instantly is like, no, we don't want to do that. And then Bane is just like, ugh! And she just tells the camera she just doesn't want to talk, and she just shoves the camera away, and we're just gone. So yeah, she's pissed. She is absolutely pissed. Whoever she faces next is dead. In the media scrum, which you can also see on YouTube, we get to see our wonderful world champion. I don't know if Mercedes went on there or not because I didn't actually watch it because I get mad when I watch these now because everyone has all these wonderful fucking questions for all the men who are being like spoken to and stuff. But then as soon as like the woman champions comes out, no one has fucking shit to say. No one has anything prepared apart from maybe one or two good cunts, but that's it. Like when Mariah May won, no one had any questions for her. Holy shit. Nothing on this point. Well, okay. Hyperbill. Nothing on this planet got me more fucking enraged quicker than that. Holy crap. But yeah, they're dumb. They're real dumb. Get some fucking questions. You just sound really stupid when you have nothing to say to a beautifully talented woman who's just had fight for her fucking life. So, Timeless is used to this, and she has prepared a fantastic poem. She is also known for spouting the most amazing one-liners. The opening to the show is one of her most iconic ones. So she's always good for a soundbite, and I love that she's kind of giving them sass about that as well. I think she said like, I'm only good for you for a soundbite or something like that. So like, oh yeah, she like at one point at one scrum she like read out this whole like I'm really fucked off letter to everyone. It was brilliant. It was a moment of and then she just like, and then Tony was like, well, if any, was it Tony or Renee? I can't remember. One of the two was like, well, if anyone's along this line got enough balls to ask a question after that, is there anything? And I don't think anyone. I think one person said something and it was stupid, and Tony just got up and like walked out. That's so shit. You're like, I mean, I hate to. I'm not calling you. What are you? You're like, what are you people? You're like media reporters. You're not really reporters. You're relayers of things of a fun fantasy kayfabe land fun place, and you just get too serious and dumb with it. Inject some fun into your anuses, people. So we go there. She does a wonderful poem. Go have a look at it. It's brilliant. If I was there, fucking hell, I would have nothing to say to them. Well, I would, because I love men's wrestling as well. But on principle, I would have nothing to say to the men, and you would have to shut my mic off to because I'd keep on asking too many questions if I was there. I mean, y'all know how fucking long I can rabbit on. So yeah, it's on YouTube. Check it out. It's hilarious. And that is all I have to say on that, people. I apologize for just coughing in your ear. I get a little laxy-daisy here sometimes, and I forget that this is going to be in people's actual ears, and I'm not just chatting to you in person. So I apologize for that. Oh, I also totally forgot that I was on camera as well, and I was just looking out the window. Hi. So that is all we have for this episode of Don't Call Me Diva. Episode 7. We're at 7 people, and you are all still listening to me. Yay! And also now watching me. Yay! Woo! Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Next week, I will be back. As always, thank you for listening to Don't Call Me Diva. You can watch me and you can listen to me on everything. Watch me on YouTube, listen to me on all the pods. If you want to tag me in something womany, recently, you want to say something nice, you want to just say something, whatever, I'm on Threads at Bex_Bastet. You can also obviously leave a comment down here. There, if you want to, I will say something back to you because I'm nice like that, unless you're a dick. And what do we know? We know that you got to be a good person here and don't be a dick. So with that, see you later.